morning, and welcome to Wednesdays with Darren and Cindy, where we bring you real conversation about things that affect our lives and the community. My name is Cindy Ward,
And my name is Darren Powell.
and we are going to be your host for our podcast.
Only 1 in 3 children are physically active every day. Less than 5% of adults participate in 30 minutes of physical activity each day. Only 1 in 3 adults receive the recommended amount of physical activity each week. Children now spend more than 7.5 hours a day in front of a screen during the summer. Typically, Americans' diets exceed the recommended intake levels or limits in four categories from solid fats, added sugars, refined grains, sodium, and saturated fats. Americans eat less than the recommended amount of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, dairy products, and oils.
Well, looking at these alarming stats from the resources that we have provided, and knowing the number of people that have the best intentions around living a healthy lifestyle, today we want to talk to you about how to get fit and how to stay fit. Joining us on the show is Dale Jorgenson to help us understand the connection between fitness, nutrition, and creating a healthy and suitable lifestyle of fitness and wellness. Hello, good morning, Mr. Dale. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, good morning. I'm glad to be here. Boy, well, I grew up on a farm in South Dakota, and my first memory of diet was watching my mother at the time sort of be a yo-yo dieter. She was drinking those shakes, instant carnation, I think.
Carnation.
Yeah, that was the first awareness that people actually tried to lose weight, and I was never really fat or never really thin. I figured myself as kind of normal. But 9 years in the Army, I came to Japan in 2002, and I've been doing golf for almost 30 years as a PGA professional.
That's amazing. That is really amazing. And so, Mr. Dale, I'm glad that you brought up Carnation Instant Breakfast because I was a yo-yo one too, and I did the Carnation, but it did not work. I just want everybody to know.
You told us a little bit of this in your introduction, but just in a more pointed way, at what point did you start to figure out your body around having a fit life, a balanced diet, fitness, and rest?
Well, honestly, when I started looking at the calendar and realized that I was going to be 60
Oh, wow.
last year in July, on July 6th, I just started. I was never, super fat, but I wanted to get in really good shape. So I gave myself a year to do it, and I got there in about 7 months, I would say. So right now I feel like I'm kind of at my goal weight and always trying to get stronger, always trying to get more flexible, always trying to have better cardio fitness. But really my serious journey started in July of last year.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Wouldn't have thought
that's
that.
awesome. I know you wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
I'm with Mr. Darren. Pretty much just looking at you, you think that you were just fit your whole life.
I was, like I said, I was in the Army, and I was always at the top of the weight for height chart. I think I'm 6'2", and I think you could weigh like 206 or 205 or something back then, and I was always like 199, 201.
What?
And I didn't feel like I was overweight. I always thought that weight chart was all messed up. And I said, man. But I worked out. I lifted weights like some guys, but I never really understood how to get lean. Until recently, honestly.
Okay.
Never stood how to get lean. I understood if you lift more weight, you'll get stronger. But lean and strong, that's kind of the holy grail. And very few people do it. I see people at the gym that are really strong, super strong, but they're not lean. They're carrying 25, 30, 35% body fat.
Wow.
And ultimately, that's not healthy.
Right.
So really, it's just trying to find a balance. You don't have to be Mr. Olympia.
Right.
Just want to be at a healthy weight, reasonably active, lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, and saturated fat, so you don't develop disease as you get older. And that was my primary motivation for doing this.
So what did you do? What steps did you take to get lean?
Well, people don't want to hear this, but you have to know how many calories you eat. I've tried low carb, keto, intermittent fasting, and they're all just, I want to say it out loud, they're all gimmicks. I'm not saying they can't work, but they're not required to work. There's two things you really got to do to count calories. One is, to lose weight is one, you have to know how much you're eating.
Right.
And people have no idea. If you were to write it down or keep track for like a week or a couple weeks, you'd be shocked at how many calories we eat, because there's calories in everything.
True.
And there's a couple good websites. The one is TDEE calculator.net, which stands for total daily energy expenditure. And in there you can type in your age, your weight, and your activity level, and it'll tell you what you need approximately for calories to maintain your weight. And then to lose weight, you want to be about 500 calories below that. So that's what I did. For my weight and age, it said I needed about 2,500 calories to maintain. So I got the MyFitnessPal app, which is a free app, and it's got all these food journals in there. And I said, okay, I'm gonna just write down what I eat. And I was, entering in there. At first, it's a little bit of a pain in the rear because, if you're eating stuff out of a package, it's simple. But if you're cooking whatever, you got to add all the ingredients together, and it gets to be, it's tedious.
Right.
But everything's in the app. So I realized I was eating way more than 3,000 calories a day, some days 4.
Wow.
And so I said, okay, so to lose weight, you got to be in they recommend a 500 calorie deficit. So I said, okay, I'm gonna eat 500 calories less. So that's 2,000 calories a day, give or take, and just see what happens. So I did that, and I was very meticulous about tracking it. And on top of that, I did 150 minutes of cardio a day. I have an elliptical at my house that I bought 20 years ago, and up until recently it just collected dust. But and that's 30 minutes, 5 days a week, medium intensity, steady state cardio. It's the recipe, and people may think it's not sexy enough. Maybe they want to do HIIT cardio or some kind of sprints or some kind of mountain climbing or bike racing, but that's all you need, and you can do less. But I did 150 minutes from July 6th until about Christmas or so, and I went from 194 to like 175.
Whoa.
And got stronger and leaner. And I went to the bod pod and got measured on December 30th at 11.4. My goal was to be below 15%. And my previous low, I'd done it about 4 years ago, was like 18.7 at almost the same weight.
What?
So not only did I lose body fat, but I gained lean muscle. And lean muscle is the holy grail, because lean muscle burns calories at rest. So the more lean muscle you have, even at 180 pounds, my lean muscle mass was only like 147 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So now it's 155 pounds. So I put on 8 pounds of lean muscle mass over 8 years. It's not easy to add lean muscle. It's just not especially as you get older. Testosterone levels drop, and it's very difficult to add lean muscle. But when you're young, add the lean muscle, find a diet that you can live with, cut the calories down so you get to your ideal body weight. And it doesn't have to be 11% or single digit. 15 is kind of the holy grail. If you can be below 15%, you'll have visible abs, and you'll look great. I mean, that was my goal. I just wanted
visible abs.
Yeah.
Well, everybody wants to have visible abs. Wow. Well, I'm sitting here with a nice Burger King cup in my hand.
Well, as long as it's diet, you're okay. That's one of the things that, I follow a couple YouTubers, and I was always concerned about, I never worried about eating sugar-free stuff, because I figure, well, it's 0 calories. But there are websites that tell you it's going to kill you, or it's bad for you, or you got fat drinking Diet Coke.
Okay.
Nobody gets fat drinking Diet Coke. Real Coke, yes.
Yeah.
But I eat a lot of sugar-free food or lower calorie foods. So try to eat foods that are low calorie but dense.
Okay.
Things like doesn't have to be vegetables, but I like cabbage. So I'll put cabbage in everything, in my wraps or whatever. It gives you more filling. And I eat from 5:15 in the morning until I go to bed. So it's not like I'm, so strict. I'll have French toast for breakfast, 2 pieces of regular old white bread dipped in egg whites, pan fried with Pam, and I put sugar-free syrup on it, and it tastes delicious. And I have that every morning. I've had that every morning since July 6th, except the couple days I was in the hospital. And I had it this morning. And then mid-morning, I'll have a Fiber One bar. There's 70 calories. Not a whole lot of protein. They'd be better, but they're so low calories, it's almost a non-issue. Then I work at the golf course. I've been eating that Thai pizza. It's about 700 calories. It's got chicken on it. It's low in fat. Another fiber bar mid-afternoon, and then I'll hit the gym after work around 3:15. And I go to the gym 6 days a week. I try to keep my workout short, about 40 to 45 minutes. And I divide the workout into 3. You want to work each body part twice a week. So legs, shoulders, back, biceps, triceps, and So I do that. So I alternate the same workout basically twice a week.
Okay.
I got a couple questions. So, 100 and how many minutes of cardio?
150.
150 minutes of cardio. Is that in one fell swoop, or is that
No.
you break that up?
That's total. I do 5 30-minute sessions.
Okay.
And I just throw on. I have my elliptical facing my my big TV, and I'll throw on a YouTube fitness channel, and those usually run 15 minutes, and then I'll watch a couple of those, and before I know it's over, and I've worked up a decent sweat, and I feel good about myself having doing it, because my dad died of heart disease at 68.
Oh no.
So the genetics are not good. So for me, it's all about no blood pressure pills, no high cholesterol pills, nothing. And my sister's diabetic.
Oh wow.
So it kind of runs in my family. So for me, it was all about, I just want to live a long time.
Yeah.
I want to be healthy a long time.
Yeah.
Living and being healthy is what we're all here for.
Okay, that's another question I wanted to ask. A lot of people lose weight on these fad diets, or they might hear what you're saying today, and they get down to a certain place, and then they relax, and they don't sustain it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, genetics are working against them as well. But what would you say about sustainment as far as getting in and staying there?
Well, the first thing is you got to lose it slow. You cannot lose it fast. If you lose it fast, it's going to come right back. I've never seen anybody lose it a large amount of weight and not rebound. Never, not one time. So if you can lose about 1/2 or 1% of body weight a week, that's great. So for me, that's like 1 pound was perfect. And I ended up losing about 1 pound a week. Now for somebody, if you feel like you're being deprived and it's only 1 pound, and some weeks it may be 0 pounds, or some weeks it might be 1.5, and you go, oh man, I'm doing all this work, I'm not getting any rewards. It's been a month, I'm only down 2 pounds or 2.5 pounds. Instead of saying I'm a failure, I would say, oh, that's really great, because you've made progress. And then it starts to snowball. So lose it slow, and then when you get to wherever your goal is, don't go crazy. There's a lot of people that tell you, oh, go ahead and have 1 cheat meal a week or 1 cheat day a week. Don't do that. Find foods you like. There's no forbidden foods. I don't eliminate. I told you I eat bread for breakfast, right? And pizza for lunch. And chocolate bars. Well, they're not chocolate bars, but they taste like chocolate bars. Protein bars. And for dinner, after dinner, I'll make a really thick protein shake. And there's tons of recipes on the internet. I have a Ninja blender, which allows you to get it really thick, add lots of ice. And it literally tastes, if ice cream's a 10, this is like an 8, 8.5.
Nice.
And you can make different flavors, and it's so thick you eat it with a spoon. So I never really feel deprived. And if I, gosh forbid, I got to eat something sweet, like somebody brings in a snack at the office, I'll eat one. It's not the end of the world. And then just get right back on track. But keeping count, being in a deficit, moving, going slow, and just being happy with your body in the process. Not like, I'll be happy when. You got to be happy now.
That's true.
But I'm going to look great and I'm going to feel great when I get to my goal. And if your goal is to be Mr. Olympia, go halfway, because that's probably where you'll end up.
That's so true. So Darren comes every morning and he has this shake. Okay. And I'm curious to know what's in this shake that you make every morning. So while you're eating French toast, he has this amazing green shake. And so I want to know what's in it.
I guess a year ago, when COVID, I decided I was going to do a cleanse, and it was called a smoothie cleanse. So I went and I did. It was kind of faddish as well, but it worked for me. And one thing it did for me is I didn't feel bloated, and I didn't have gas, and so it did a lot of things for me that I enjoyed. I did lose some weight, but again, I don't know if it was great weight or not. And so in there, I do it's a smoothie greens. So it has a little bit of calories, but basically it has natural things in it. I have either kale or spinach in there. Then I'll put some fruit in there, just random fruit, bananas, of course, because it kind of sweetens it up a little bit. Apple. I'll put whatever I feel like, whatever I have around, and I'll kind of throw it in there. Sometimes I throw in zucchini or some vegetables, and then I'll put an emergency just for vitamin C, just because, I'm always trying to keep my immune system in a good space. And I just put water in it, and mix it from there, and it kind of gives it gives it a little bit of sweet. The fruit sometimes can be, I put frozen fruit in there to make it cold. And that at times for some people that I've talked to that have done this, it's a little bit too many calories for them, but it kind of works for me.
Got it. Okay, I was curious, so this was a platform I wanted to ask,
Yeah, good.
But our last question, though, Mr. Dale, When you hear get fit and stay fit, what are some basic principles to have to sustaining a lifestyle of fitness and overall wellness that you would like to tell our listeners?
Yeah, my first thing, well, I heard your statistics at the beginning, and gosh, it's so true. I mean, we're all looking at our screens, and you get home, kick the shoes off, hit the couch, and you may not get out of the couch except to go to the bathroom and get something to eat. And we all fall into that, especially when it's cold.
Right.
But you have to start small. If you're 100% sedentary, which a lot of us are, I mean, other than going to the gym, I'm sedentary. When I get home, I'm on the couch. You know, I just my day is full. I'm pretty tired. But start slow. Just do something. Just even if you just walk around the block, and start slow. Walk the dog. Play with your kids if you have kids, or maybe go for a bike ride if you have a bike. You don't have to go buy the $100 fitness gear and go to the gym and just become a maniac. Because I think that's what people they're turned off by. Says, well, I'm not in good enough shape to go to the gym yet. I want to lose some weight first. And that's obviously the wrong approach. Just go on a bike upstairs and just ride for 10 minutes. If 10 minutes is too hard, do 5. And before you know it, you're going to be doing 20 or 30. And you're going to feel great afterwards. Maybe not while you're doing it. You may struggle, but afterwards you're going to feel great. And just set a goal. And one of the things I was going to say about weight loss is you have to weigh yourself. I mean, it's hard. You feel like you've had a great week, quote unquote, and you hop on the scale and it went up. Well, that's just natural. Your body holds water and holds nutrients differently. So you can eat like crap, and the next day you may be down a pound or two. And then you go, wow, that doesn't make any sense. And then you eat like great, and the next day you're up a pound or two.
Right.
So what I learned a long time ago was weigh every day, even if you hate it, and just use the median because that's your better than an average because there's going to be highs and lows, especially the higher body weight you are. But pick a small goal, try to reach that. Once you reach that one, try to go to another goal. And if you can do strength training, that's great. Flexibility is great. If you like yoga, some people like that. You don't have to go, for a 10-mile bike ride or a 10-mile run or do sprints in the backyard. Just be more active, move around, and enjoy your body because we only got one.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Can I throw in a bonus question? Please,
Go ahead.
please.
Well, this was it's just a little off cut. I'm a runner, and and I know you're not a runner for distance and everything like that, but I find that sometimes when I'm playing the diet game, my stamina kind of gets kind of affected. I mean, what would you say to the person who's trying to kind of find that balance in there? And I know you're not a runner, maybe you don't know, but there's something in your journey.
Yeah, you're saying you're in a calorie deficit and you're getting tired, right?
Yeah.
Well, I take a pre-workout, pretty strong one, and I find them helpful. They're not required. They sell them at the PX or wherever. You can get good ones to give you a little boost of energy. But if you eat the right amount of foods and the right kinds of foods, I don't find myself getting too low energy. Okay. And if I get super low, I'm going to eat something. Protein bar. If you get a protein bar that's got at least 15 grams of protein in it and is under 200 calories or under 250, and sometimes you need that if you're on a long run or a bike ride. Okay. But yeah, it's a legitimate point. Sometimes when your body feels deprived, the last thing you want to do is hop on a bike or hop on a run or go to the gym. But pre-workouts are helpful for me. And like I say, I snack. I eat 5:15 to 5:20 in the morning, and my last meal is about 9 right before I go to bed.
Wow.
I'm eating all day. I'm feeding my body. That's why I feel it. So I don't have those huge lulls.
One of the things that people talk about is accountability. Where do you find your accountability at?
That's a great question. I know things that would generally help would be to document your body. Just take a picture, and you don't have to share it, but just take a picture. Okay, this is my starting point. Most people don't take the picture of their starting point, and they get to this great end, and they say, "Oh, I don't remember where I was," but other people remember. Yeah. A journal is good. You can blog if you do that. You can Facebook if you do that. Sometimes that's a little too public for people. If you have a partner, your partner can say, "Hey, what'd you weigh today?" Or "How much did you weigh?" I mean, that can be, there's pros and cons to that too, because it can turn into nagging. But ultimately, it's success drives success, and the more you get in shape, the more you want to get in shape. Like yesterday, I didn't feel like going to the gym. And my trick is, I don't feel like going, but I'm just going to go, I'm going to do one set of one exercise. Well, an hour later, I had one of the best workouts all week. Because you're in there, other people are around, and you get the blood pumping, and before you know it, you've smashed it. Yeah. So I don't have any great answers for that, but yeah, and tell somebody. And I've gotten 6 or 7 people that have complimented me on my physique at the gym, people I don't know. And man, I tell you what, my head got so big, I was like, man, I can't miss a day. I never had that happen before.
I was one of those
Your
guys.
Best physique pushing 60. I didn't think that was even possible. I
That's
thought
amazing.
40 and you're done, you know, or 45 or whatever. Whatever age you are, it's always the age older than you. Like, okay, now that I'm 60, okay, 70, I'm going to be done. But I don't see any reason I can't look like this 10 years from now. But we'll
That's
see.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, for real. I learned a lot today.
Yeah.
That is amazing. You have anything else?
No, I'm. This was so thorough and so good, and I just feel like I'm taking a lot from it, and I think everybody else will as well, because I think everybody's on this journey, you know, and really most
True.
people, 90% of the people you talk to, they're having this conversation, whether they want to put in the work or the discipline, and you made it simple, you made it tangible, you know, it didn't seem very, you know, like you said, it was real simple. So I was just like, man, I think that's good, because again, everybody's spending a whole lot of money on ketos and
Yeah.
whole 30s and everything else, and it just seems what you're saying is just kind of like, hey, this is pretty, you know, just the basics, you know, it takes you a little bit of discipline, but
Yeah, one of the most important things when you're losing weight is you need to have a food scale, because the average person has no idea what 2 ounces, 4 ounces, 6 ounces, 8 ounces, or 200 grams or whatever it looks like. So when you're first getting your maintenance calories and your weight loss calories, you got to know how much you're eating, and we overestimate or underestimate all the time. So get a food scale. You can get them for $15. They're cheap. Do everything in grams. The MyFitnessPal app will give you all the conversions for how many calories per gram, and then you get accurate of what you're actually eating. A couple other secrets. Sugar-free Jello pudding, chocolate vanilla at the commissary, 60 calories.
What?
And those are great little cold little treats. You know, I eat 1 or 2 of those a day. Protein bars I mentioned, the Fiber One bars I've mentioned, and obviously the protein shakes, because those are legit. Those are, you know, they're like eating a gallon of ice cream. They're only like 300 calories depending on what you put in them.
Yeah.
do you have any websites you would recommend anybody to get their fitness? I mean, their fitness food or?
Well, I got the TDE calculator from a guy named Remington James Fitness. He has a lot of these guys sell cookbooks. He has a cookbook, but I've never bought his cookbook, but I'll steal recipes from him. Like really, like I make these brownies that are to die for, and they're only made with canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, but actually just raw unsweetened pumpkin.
Okay.
You can buy it at the SHA commissary. They don't sell here at Zama. And protein powder and some sugar-free chocolate syrup and a little bit of other things. And you wouldn't, I mean, you'll know, but they are delicious. Chocolate chip cookie dough. I make chocolate chip cookie dough with protein powder, and I'll eat that with real chocolate chips.
Wow.
And still maintain the weight that I'm at. So
That's awesome.
don't feel like you got to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice, and because it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
And the other guy let's do is Greg Doucette. He's a former bodybuilder, but he's got some good fitness advice as well. So those are the 2 that I watch almost daily. And then there's tons of other ones about just low-calorie food. Because really, we all like sweets. I haven't met anybody that doesn't like sweets. If you can eat cookie dough on occasion, or brownies, or some other delicious things.
So what do you say to the red wine drinker? Not me, of course.
That's a
Of
good
course
question.
not.
Yeah, you know, I don't drink. It's not because I'm against it or anything. I only drink when I'm on vacation, really.
Okay.
So just factor them in. If a glass of red wine is 160 calories, just factor it into your calories.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you want to eat more, do more cardio. If you burn 300 calories of cardio, that's 300 more calories you can eat,
Right.
as long as you're at the 500 calorie deficit. Now, what I did is when I burned 300 calories of cardio, I didn't eat the extra, so it went a little faster. But you're you know, like for me, it's 2,000 calories. If I burned 300, I could technically eat 2,300 and still be at 2,000, because in the MyFitnessPal app, it deducts exercise calories.
Okay.
Do not deduct weightlifting calories, because it's really negligible.
Oh.
You know, you think you would gym and you maybe burn 50 calories or 100 calories.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Man, this is good.
Wow. So I thought I was doing good, but I got a little work to do.
I got a lot of work to do, Mr. Dale.
The 6 days a week thing is that they go like, whoa.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, just keeping my body healthy.
Yeah, you know, they have the bod pod on the base here. It's completely free. They make you take a metabolism class to go to it. I've done 3 now. First one was 21.7, 18 something, and then 11.4. So
Is that the Army Wellness Center?
yes.
Okay.
So they're a great resource. And I went to the metabolism class. It was well done, and you don't need 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. I mean, it's great if you can because they're filling, but if you don't like vegetables, you don't have to eat them. I'm going to tell you right now. I have a green supplement that I put in my protein shake. It tastes fine. It's frozen fruits and vegetables that are dehydrated and then blended into powder. I mean, I like vegetables, but they take time to cook and whatever. And they're kind of expensive. So I usually buy frozen vegetables because they're frozen at their peak freshness, and then I can just microwave them.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
We could probably go on forever, but we probably need to shut this down.
Yeah. This is amazing.
We might have to come back and we might have to
part
get you back
two.
in here and get a part 2. We got a few other people that are looking for this information and have some things to add. So yeah, that'd be great.
Well, everyone, thank you for listening to our 100% real life topics. We had Mr. Dale Jorgenson with us today, and we will see everyone next week.